Now for our feature story of the day. Bernstein analysts are projecting a $200,000 Bitcoin price for this cycle peak due to the Bitcoin ETF flows. And they're also projecting a $1 million Bitcoin price by the year 2033. So I want to break this one down for you, family. Here you go. Analyst at research and brokerage firm Bernstein. Y'all remember the Bernstein Bears? I remember that book series as I was a child. Let me know if anyone else remembers those. But anyways, they say Bitcoin can reach nearly 200,000 by the end of the next year, following strong inflows into the spot US Bitcoin ETFs since their approval January 11th. This prediction is an upward revision from their previous target of 150 Gs. So they ultimately upped their projection for this cycle peak by 50,000, now projecting 200,000 per coin by 2025. Let me know if you agree or disagree. The analyst based this prediction on the assumption that spot Bitcoin ETFs may represent around 7% of the total circulating Bitcoin supply by the end of 2025. Quoting the analyst here, we see Bitcoin ETFs as on the cusp of approvals at major wirehouses / large private bank platforms in Q3, Q4. And they also wrote the institutional basis trade looks like the Trojan horse for adoption, and these investors are in the process of evaluating net long positions. The analyst said that currently nearly 80% of the spot Bitcoin ETF flows come from self-directed retail investors through broker platforms, while institutional integrations with wirehouses are still in their infancy. Around $15 billion of net flows have been brought in by the ETFs combined. We expect Bitcoin ETFs to be equivalent to 7% of the Bitcoin in circulation by 2025 and 15% of the Bitcoin supply by 2033, which is ultimately when they're projecting a $1 million Bitcoin price. Quoting them again, we expect the spot Bitcoin ETFs to touch 190 billion in assets under management by 2025 market peak and that's trillion by 2033. So let's freaking go. The analyst also suggested the Bitcoin price has entered a new bull cycle driven by the recent Bitcoin halving. They expect new catalysts to emerge that will drive demand for the asset. Quoting them here, we believe Bitcoin is in a new bull cycle. The halving presents a unique circumstance where natural Bitcoin sell pressure from the miners declines by half or even more as the inventory, more anticipation, while the new catalyst for Bitcoin demand arises, leading to exponential price moves. We'll send it. And apart from the capital flows into the spot ETFs for Bitcoin, Bitcoin has seen significant institutional funds pouring in. And as I already shared with you, MicroStrategy continuing to stack them sats with their recent 780 million Bitcoin buy, now holding 226,331 BTC on the balance sheet. So there you have it, my crypto fam. Let me know your thoughts surrounding Bernstein analysts projecting Bitcoin hitting 200,000 for the cycle peak in 2025 and Bitcoin hitting $1 million by 2033. My personal prediction, which I often share here in the show, is for the bear scenario for this particular cycle, I'm projecting Bitcoin hitting 222,000. And then for my bull scenario, as high as 750,000 per BTC, which in my personal opinion, I feel would most likely be in 2025. But I want to know your thoughts. Don't be shy, and I'll read as many of the comments out loud. But how long to get to 1 trillion? A trillion is 1,000 billion, so you need to be counting for 31.7 thousand years to count $1 trillion. Wow, $1 per second would take 31,000 years. Insane math. It just goes to show you how crazy these numbers are. And consider right now, United States is like 34.5 trillion in debt. The entire market cap all-time high is only like 3 trillion, just to put things into perspective. So the debt here is mind-boggling. So glad you're back. Happy to be here, Nicholas, and thank you for the support. We need to dip down from the snag, that liquidity at 60 to 63. Send it. Bernstein bearish, pretty much, but they're a big institution. I think they're going to be conservative like many of them are, but it is what it is. We even have Standard Chartered Bank very bullish for this cycle, as they should be. Of course, we're witnessing history in the making. This is unprecedented. We can foresee what's going to happen unless you're living under a rock, right? Bitcoin will continue to increase your purchasing power. It's a mathematical certainty. There's no denying it. And all assets will eventually return to their true intrinsic value, especially the fiat currency monopoly tulip bowl money, which is zero. Welcome to the Q&A segment of the live show. Shout out Ricky Norwood. 200,000 by the end of 2025 would be fantastic. Greetings from Instable. Shout out Engine. Welcome to the live stream, brother. Shout out Grant and Brian. Appreciate you, fam. That's sick. I appreciate the resources. The description was proper today. Good to note. Shout out Ted. I may have gotten it figured out, family. What happened to that debt ceiling? Right? If they end the Fed, we'd be able to pay off the sovereign debt in one fell swoop. I think but it's all by design. They want the country in debt. It seems they're purposely just trying to destroy the country. Does anyone feel that same way? Let's just print as much money as possible and give it away to other countries and pretend we're solving the other country problems. And let's just ignore all our own personal problems here in America. Doesn't it seem to be this way? It's very interesting. If they end the Fed, you never know. Good evening. Welcome, Chris. Good afternoon. Good morning. JV, I like your Bitcoin prediction. Seems reasonable. Thank you. I like to consider myself a reasonable guy, but there's no guarantee with price action, family. And this is not investment advice. I like to make that very clear. This show is for entertainment purposes only. BLX weekly since the inception of 2009, Bitcoin on average goes up 2 fib levels. Post-halving, the 1.114 equals $400,000 biddy, and then the 1.236 equals a $3 million biddy, all before the next halving. Send it. 3 million sounds sexy to me. I covered that target a couple of pod episodes ago with Max Kaiser, the high priest, ultimately projecting Bitcoin tapping into a 400 trillion total addressable market with a 1% allocation. He said he'll send Bitcoin to $123 million per coin. Let me know if you agree, fam. It's called the Keynesian economics. They think they can print their way out of insolvency. I don't think they're that stupid to think that they can. They just think we're that ignorant to believe, you know what I mean? It's all by plan, and they think we're stupid, but we're not that stupid, right? Bitcoin is undervalued compared to the leading fiat currencies. The risk-adopted value would be between 1 to 5 million at the current debt status. Sound good to me? 1, 2, 3, 4, $5 million, please. Send it. And let's pump it up.
Look, pump it up if your game and went long. When the dip hit, you just stay like King Kong. More than 5 shots in your stack, then get it on.
Yes. Bitcoin undervalued 100%. Kraken got hacked by Certic for $3 million, taken by minting from Kraken's treasury. That sucks. It's not easy being an exchange, fam. You got to survive the crypto winter. You got to survive the SEC coming after you to shake you down, which they have done to Kraken numerous times. They shook them down for $30 million last year. And as soon as they paid off that, they try to shake them down again. You can't make this ish up. And then you got to also survive the hackers. So just imagine, that's crazy. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. Facts. Voltaire, French philosopher circa 1720. All fiat always eventually returns to its intrinsic value, zero. Amen. As they say in Espanol, cero. Everyone knows that the 34 debt will never be. It's impossible. You can't print debt to pay it off. They know that. Come on. They're trying to destroy America, and they're going to print until the wheels fall off. By 3 of their employees, one of them was even KYC. Oh my God. So it was an inside job. Wow. That's sad. JV smoking the bazooka. Bazooka, eh? Is that what the youngins call it nowadays? The bazooka. I like that. I got the bazooka, fam.